The campaign is not over yet, but it is already clear, we have historic achievements. I want to remember where we were. Iran tried to encircle us with a stranglehold. Hamas in Gaza, Hezbollah in Lebanon, the Assad regime in Syria, the militias in Iraq, the Houthis in Yemen. Iran itself, they wanted to strangle us and we are strangling them. They threatened us with annihilation and they are now fighting to survive. We have prepared them. We still have more to do. Why did we go out to this campaign? Because Iran was very close to obtaining nuclear weapons and to obtaining the ability to produce missiles, thousands upon thousands of missiles. Not a handful of missiles a day that would fall on us, but many hundreds every day, 2 existential threats that we had to push away from above our heads. Dear citizens of Israel, my brothers and sisters, the campaign is not yet over, but already now it is possible to state clearly, we have historic achievements. I want to remember where we were. Iran tried to grip us in a choking ring. Hamas in Gaza, Hezbollah in Lebanon, the Assad regime in Syria, the militias in Iraq, the Houthis in Yemen, Iran itself. They wanted to choke us, and we are choking them. They threatened us with annihilation, and they are now fighting to survive. We have struck them. We still have more to do, and I will immediately spell this out. But I want to begin specifically with Iran itself, specifically with the head of the octopus. Because I have devoted a significant part of my life to preventing one thing, that this regime of Ayatollahs obtain nuclear weapons, with which it seeks to annihilate the Jewish state and bring an end to Jewish history. I spoke about this in Congress and at the UN and in various parliaments. I authorized all kinds of actions, most of them covert, to delay them, and indeed we hurt them. But the world did not listen. Many said, it is not so terrible. It is even not so terrible if Iran has nuclear weapons. I heard these voices not only outside, I heard them even among us. And I, as Prime Minister of Israel, head of the one and only Jewish state, could not accept that. And the great change took place on that evening of With a Growling Lion that I announced to you, that our daring pilots are flying in the skies of Iran and striking targets all across Iran. We were the first to break the barrier of fear, the fear of acting in Iran itself. And I remember my feeling, what excitement, what pride, goosebumps. And I know that you all experienced this too. We were the first to act because we knew what was on the line. But if I had told you a year ago that our male and female pilots would be flying in Iran, who would have believed it? And if I had told you a year ago that the United States of America, the strongest power in the world, would fight at our side, shoulder to shoulder, wing to wing, for close to 40 days against our common enemy, who would have believed it? But all this happened because we initiated, we acted, we struck. And why did we go out to this campaign? Because Iran was very close to obtaining nuclear weapons and to obtaining the ability to produce missiles, thousands upon thousands of missiles. Not a handful of missiles a day that would fall on us, but many hundreds every day, 2 existential threats that we had to push away from above our heads. If we had not gone out to With a Growling Lion and afterwards to Roaring Lion, Iran would already have atomic bombs. That, we prevented. And I will tell you how we prevented it. Because before With a Growling Lion, this time intelligence reached me that was precise and on time. And it told us that Iran was beginning to act to turn its enriched uranium into nuclear weapons. And the moment we received this intelligence, we went into action. We eliminated 12 of their senior nuclear scientists. We attacked their nuclear facilities together with our American friends. If you remember the attack on Fordow with the B-2S, what excellent work they did. And we also struck missile stockpiles and also hundreds of launchers. And all this pushed away from us that double, immediate existential threat. But after With a Growling Lion, a few months later, once again precise intelligence reached me, again on time. And this intelligence showed that Khamenei had ordered the renewal, and even the expansion, of both the nuclear industry and the missile industry. I use the word industry, because he is thinking of something much broader, underground. He wanted to bury both the production of missiles and the production of nuclear material deep deep under high mountain, in such a way that even B-2 aircraft cannot reach it. And again, we could not sit idly by. We went into action. In Roaring Lion we eliminated another 8 nuclear scientists who this time were engaged in weaponization. That is, the production of the weapons, not just the enriched uranium but the weapon itself. Without this, it is impossible to manufacture atomic bombs. We destroyed the heavy water plant at Arak, we destroyed their entire centrifuge array, and also a uranium production plant. That is, we essentially reached a situation in which Iran has not even one active enrichment plant, and most of its ability to produce missiles has disappeared. It still has missiles. It has a magazine of missiles, and it is gradually being emptied. That is, we succeeded here in crushing the nuclear program, crushing the missile program, and we set ourselves yet another goal, to crush the regime in Iran, to weaken it to the lowest, weakest level it has known since the establishment of the regime 47 years ago. And I want to tell you what we did. We eliminated the supreme leader Khamenei, his de facto successor Larijani, the defense minister, the intelligence minister, the chief of staff of the Iranian army, the commander of the operations unit of the Quds force, the commanders of the Revolutionary Guards, the commanders of the Basij, the top of the security establishment, the top of the intelligence services, the senior Air Force officers, the official in charge of UAVs, the official in charge of transferring funds to the terror organizations, the commander of the Iranian Navy, the Iranian fleet in the Caspian Sea, dozens of headquarters of the Revolutionary Guards and of internal security, dozens of helicopters and transport aircraft, the money machine of the Revolutionary Guards, that is, the steel industry in Iran, and 3/4 of Iran's petrochemical plants. This is what the Revolutionary Guards live off. We struck the biggest gas production plant in Iran, a fuel depot, junctions, and railway lines that were used to transfer forces and weapons, dozens of factories of the arms industry. And there are many more details. I spare you, but we did not spare them. We have made here a huge change. There are people who say, we have no achievements, enormous achievements. And this is expressed in this weakened regime, which is asking, begging, for a ceasefire. It is expressed in internal disputes at the top. We know about this. We see their growing difficulty in meeting the needs of the citizens. This is expressed in a profound weakening of the regime of Ayatollahs. Iran is no longer the same Iran, and Israel is also no longer the same Israel. Those who threatened to destroy us are now fighting for their own survival. And as for the arms of the octopus, here too we have done huge things. First of all, we set a rule. Israel will not tolerate a situation in which terror organizations sit on its border, and therefore we created deep security zones in enemy territory. In Gaza, we control more than half, over 50%, of the territory of the Strip. We are gripping Hamas from every direction, and we will deal with it. In Syria, we are positioned on the peak of Mount Hermon, and we reach as far as the Yarmouk. And there, too, we are taking care, as I have taken care, of our Druze allies, our brothers. In Lebanon, there came a dramatic change. You remember Nasrallah. He boasted, the Jews are, how did he call us? Spider web. Well, he was eliminated, and what we eliminated together with him was his huge rocket and missile stockpile, a stockpile of 150,000 missiles and rockets, which we destroyed in 6 hours. The great majority. They still have rockets. We are taking care of that. But they planned something else. They planned that thousands of Radwan Force terrorists would secretly reach the borderline, infiltrate and capture the communities. That, we foiled. We first of all killed many of them. We crushed all the underground that they had prepared, the tunnels, the terror villages above ground, and we created a security belt of 8 to 10 kilometers in order to push the anti-tank threat away from our communities. We are still fighting them. It is not over yet. You saw, only a few days ago we carried out the most powerful operation since the Beepers, the Pagas. We eliminated hundreds of terrorists at once, in 10 minutes, and our hand is still outstretched, to strike. This goes on all the time. We are fighting Hezbollah because it is my firm, unequivocal decision to restore security to the residents of the north. They deserve it, like all citizens of Israel. I want to tell you what has happened here. As a result of this power that we displayed, Lebanon turned to us several times over the past month to begin direct peace talks. This has not happened to us in our history. Actually, it happened once, decades ago. But now they turned to us. And I approved it, subject to 2 things. We want to reach the disarmament of Hezbollah from its weapons, and we want a real peace agreement, a peace agreement that will last for generations. And I want to tell you something else. Not only Lebanon is turning to us. Many other countries, in the Middle East and beyond, for cooperation, for alliances, because they see our power. Power brings closer. Just as weakness drives away, power brings closer. And Israel today is stronger than ever. This little Israel, small perhaps in territory, but huge in spirit and determination. And we have become the strongest regional power. Everyone understands this. And in certain respects also a world power. And they tell us, there are no achievements. There are tremendous achievements here. This is a historic change. We crushed the nuclear program. We crushed the missiles. We crushed the regime. We have an alliance like no other, with our great friend, the President of the United States, between the Israel Defense Forces and of course the U.S. military, relations such as we have never had. Now, these achievements are not yet complete. There is still enriched material in Iran, and as President Trump said, it must be removed. Either it will leave with consent, or it will leave in other ways. But we are working in cooperation, between me and President Trump, between Israel and the United States, the like of which has never existed. These are achievements that change the entire balance of power. And Israel is a different Israel, stronger than ever. And how did we achieve all this? Or before that, I must say this. There are those who belittle these achievements, minimize them. Of course, first of all Iran, and Iran's propaganda, which is encouraged in our media channels, and the propaganda of our political opponents, which is encouraged in Iran's media. But this does not change the truth. There is a huge, tremendous change. And it came thanks to our daring pilots, and our daring female pilots, and our ground crews who work around the clock, and our brave commanders and soldiers, and the fallen who fell for us, and the wounded in body and soul, for whose recovery we pray. And it came thanks to you, citizens of Israel. You stood firm the whole time. I salute you. And it came thanks to the courageous, determined, and well-considered decisions of the government under my leadership. And I want to tell you, our hand is still outstretched, to act. He crouched, he lay down like a lion, and like a lion he will rise. And with God's help, we will continue to act together, and we will continue to win.